students of class 10, where are you? And new year has begun. I wish you all well, and your examinations are not far away, but don't get nervous. I am here with you. So far English is concerned, and you are going to do well with my classes. Just follow them closely and write in the comment section. Whatever problems do you have, please write in the comment section so that I can feel your pulse. I can put my finger where you have problem. Okay, so please write in the comment section and keep subscribing to my channel. Students, I am going to start a new lesson today, Glimpses of India. You know, students, we are all Indians, but do we know India? India is such a vast country with so much diversity, country with so many varieties in all respects, that to know India is not easy. Living in India, we don't know what is happening in other parts of the country and how do the people live there. The climate there, the festivals there, dress, manners, lifestyle, cultures, all kinds of things. So there is a lesson given here, Glimpses of India. What do you mean by glimpses, students? Glimpses? Glimpses means pictures of India, the look of India in different parts of the country. Okay? And in this lesson, 3 parts of India have been covered. The first place is Goa, then Coorg, and the third place is Assam. Assam tea. Assam is famous for its tea, and Goa for its bread. Okay? So students, I will tell you separately about these 3 places through your text. Okay? So it is very essential for us to know some important places and some such places of which we have no prior knowledge, to know them. It is very, very essential. Okay? So students, before we start the lesson, there is a pre-reading activity. As I told you, I have often told you that there is a pre-reading activity to warm you up for the lesson. And here are some questions for that. What images of people and of places come to your mind when you think of our country? When you think of your country and when we think of our country, what image comes in our mind? When we think of India, what is the image of India, the concept of India that we have in our mind when you think of your country? The simple thing which comes to our mind is colors, varieties, and diversity and vastness of the country. These are the things which come in our mind. The things which come in our mind are its diversity, colors, varieties, cultures, languages. India itself is a big world. India is not simply a country. India is a big world itself. So the image, when we have any image of India, India looks like a vast, mysterious, large, colorful country. Okay? Second thing, what parts of India have you lived in or visited? Can you name some popular tourist destinations? We all are Indians and we live in some parts of India. Do you know where are you living in India? Do you know the other places of India? Which places have you toured or visited? During holidays, you must have gone to some hill stations, some other places, some religious places. So can you recall them? You must have cherished their memories. The visit to such places, you must have kept in your mind. So you must have visited some places. Okay, and such places must have been memorable to you. Okay, this is one thing. You may know that apart from British, the Dutch and the French, the Portuguese have also played a part in the history of our country. Can you say which parts of India show French and Portuguese influences? You know, India was ruled by the British, we all know. Some parts of India were under the French influence, Dutch influence also. Many Western powers came to India because they were greedy about our resources. But have you heard of Portuguese who ruled Goa? Goa was under the Portuguese rule for quite some time, for a long time. Have you heard of them? And each of these people which occupied our country for some time, left their influence on us. British left India, but there are many British landmarks in India still there. The remnants of British era, the signs of the British era. So when these foreign powers left the source of India, before that they had impacted us a lot, our lifestyle, our dress, food. They influenced us in a great many ways. They influenced us. When British left India, they changed us a lot by that time. They had changed us a lot. Similarly, Goa has Portuguese culture. If you go to Goa, you will find a part of Portugal there. Now, fourth one. Can you say which parts of India grow tea or coffee? Tea is grown. Which part of India grows tea or coffee? Do you have any idea? Read these chapters and you will get to know. As I explained to you, you will get to know. Assam tea, Darjeeling tea. Have you heard of them? Now, the first part is a baker from Goa, Lucio Rodriguez. Actually, it is a pen portrait. Student, what is pen portrait? Means describing something in such a manner that pictures come in your mind. You will picture Goa in your mind. First paragraph. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. We still have amongst us the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. Those age-old, time-tested furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. The third and jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo, heralding his arrival in the morning, can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as pedder in Goa. Actually, Goa has still some remnants of baking bread, the molders, the mixtures. But the people who loved bread, loaves of bread, they may not be alive. They ate large loaves of bread. But the makers are still there. The bread makers are still there, and they are called pedder. They come hitting the ground with bamboo and in a particular dress every day. They can be seen even now. The people who sell bread are called pedders in Goa. Okay? And they come jingling their bamboo, announcing their arrival, and people come out of their homes to purchase bread. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. He used to come at least twice a day, once when he set out in the morning on his sailing round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. The jingling thud of his bamboo woke us up from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of the loaf? Not at all. The loaves were brought by some Pasquine, Bastine, the maid servant of the house. What we longed for were those bread bangles which we chose carefully. Sometimes it was sweet bread of special make. The narrator was highly excited when, as a young boy, whenever a pedder came announcing his arrival by hitting the ground with bamboo, jang jang sound, he would come running out. But he did not come for the loaf. He came for the bangle bread, a circular bread which was very sweet, and children loved it. So actually the narrator came out running of his house for bangle bread, which was a sweet thing for children, and they enjoyed a lot. Okay? And these pedders in Goa were very well connected with the people. Actually, they can be called the parts of Goan culture. They're very much part of everyday life of the Goans there. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jang jang sound of his specially made bamboo staff. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. But we would not give up. we would climb a bench or parapet and peep into the basket somehow. I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Loaves for the elders and bangles for the children. And then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. And why should we? Who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush? And why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea would wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. It is childish prank. Elders loved loaves and we children loved bangle bread. And author does not believe in brushing his teeth also. It was childhood. So why brush the teeth with a mango twig, a leaf? Why? Actually, does lions brush their teeth? No. Why should we? Hot tea will do the work. Hot tea will clean our teeth and everything will be all right and we shall enjoy the bread. Okay? Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the bowl. Just as party or feast loses its charm without bread. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Cakes and bolinhas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals, and thus the presence of a baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. As I have told you, a baker in Goa is a must person. Marriage, festivals, all kinds of occasions, different kinds of dishes are prepared. Cakes, sandwiches, you can't have sandwiches without bread. Cakes, impossible. So baker's presence is an essential part of Goa. The whole Goan life is based on baker's contribution. Okay. The baker and the bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as the kabai. It was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length ones and longer than the half pants. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like a pedder. Goan peddars had a peculiar dress, a one-piece frock long coming down up to the knees. But now their dress has changed. Now they are wearing not half pant but less than a full pant. But they are not wearing full length trousers. Their half pants comes down to their knees like the modern days capris. They wear half pants which come down to their knees. So the pedder's dress had changed over the time. Previously they wore one piece cloth which was very much like a frock which came down up to their knees. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Monthly accounts were used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. The baker and his family never starved. He and his family and his servants always looked happy and prosperous. Their plum physique was an open testimony to this. Even today, any person with a jackfruit-like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. Bakers' accounts were written on the wall with pencil, and bakers were prosperous people in Goa. Their servants and they themselves, they looked plump, healthy, and they had jackfruit-like body. And this was the indication of prosperity. In past, it was observed, it was believed that the people who were really happy, prosperous and rich were plump and healthy. So the Goan peddars were quite round-bodied, plump, and they looked prosperous and rich. So students, I have completed the part Goa, a baker in Goa. I hope you have understood everything. Please write in the comment section. Please, I insist. Please write in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful day.